this outline with the idea for people who haven't had a lot of experience fighting in melees, to give you an idea of what to expect. So this may be a too low of a level. If it is, we can bring it up. Sir Randolph Lee has way more melee experience than anybody. My name is Captain CuMhara Of Holyhead, Baroness of the Court of Baroness and Rebecca. I am a captain of the Red Company. I fought as an unbelted champion. I have dragon's tooth. I'm only saying that because he doesn't. And I have a little bit of melee experience. So I'll talk about the most important thing that you need to know about melee. Just know what your victory conditions are. Is your victory condition last man? Is your victory condition to hold this point? Is your victory condition making sure that you run over and grab this flag and put your color up?
I was looking for you.
Know your victory conditions for every battle you go into. That is the first thing you have to know. There are generally two types of battles with regards to lives. We run to the last human, or we have resurrection battles. So generally, you have, with the last man standing battle, everybody goes out, you kill everybody, you get killed, you die, you go off, drink some nice water. Resurrection battles, I told you this was a very low level. The resurrection battle, you get killed, you go back, get some water, you look at the pretty women for a minute, then you have to go back and fight. There are some different types of resurrection. And you can just run out, kill people, come back, drink water, run back out, kill people, come back, drink water. Okay, but this all comes back to knowing your victory conditions. If your conditions are to have a lot of fun, you're young, you're in good shape, maybe running back and forth is a great deal. All right. For me, sometimes I want to sit here in the hay bale. I want to drink some more water. The women are pretty. Okay, we're good here. In resurrection battles, as a captain, my biggest complaint are the folks who enjoy sitting on the hay bales looking at the beautiful women. If it's a resurrection battle, you go get your drink, because you need to stay hydrated, and you get your butt back on the field. If you're too tired to fight, that's okay. You stand in the fourth line with your sword and shield, and you watch. Because at any moment, that battle could shift, and you might magically find the energy to hop back into the fray. Where if you're sitting on the hay bale, you can't do jack for the kingdom or yourself. There is no glory to be gained with your butt on a hay bale. Howdy.
I mean, there's cookies.
Okay.
Have one.
There's cookies. So far we've reviewed the two types of lives that you have, running to the last man or resurrection battles. Sometimes resurrection battles are timed with how long you have to stay in res. So everybody comes into res and they blow a whistle every 10 minutes. And then everybody who's in res gets to get up and go back out and fight. So these are just some of the different things that you would expect to see in a resurrection battle. Questions so far? Okay, well, obviously, the next thing we're going to talk about is battle conditions, stagnant versus open. I want to introduce these terms because I want to make sure everybody understands what I'm talking about. Stagnant tend to be everybody in this line is looking at everybody in that line. Open is when we're all running around, hitting each other. There's no lines formed. When you have, even in an open field battle, you will end up with stagnant lines. I'm good at making stagnant lines. If I can make those people slow down, and I can, I'm projecting my chi, I'm shaking my spear, and there may be 5 or 10 or 20 of them. Oddly, the more there is, the more likely they are to stop when you do this. It's the SCA, for crying out loud. There's no glory to be gained by looking. All right? The glory is in running in and hitting people.
The knights don't like you.
Well, it's the crowd mentality. You get one going and the rest of them crystallize.
The Meridian Knights trained all their fighters to stop when they stayed in front of the state. So.
In the resurrection battle, we often have a different type of battle ending. On a bridge battle, we're all here in the center, and the cannon goes off, or they yell hold, or blow the whistle. The battle is over, but the battle is not over, because they decide, now we're going to fight to the last man. Except, we're only going to let the people who are within 9 feet of the center of the bridge still fight. When you're doing a battle like that, it's a different mentality. Sorry, I walk around a lot.
No, it's fine. It's a wide angle lens.
Okay, so there's a different mentality to the end of that battle. Another type of battle is that we'll have we'll have resurrection until the end of the battle, and then they go into last man standing. It's very important, especially if you want to win battles, to understand your victory conditions, to understand what the battle scenario is. I'm very bad, especially when I was young, I'm just here fighting. I'll know what we're doing. I'm going to go over there and hit that guy. So that's what I'm doing, you know? But if you know your victory conditions, you can adjust your fighting to actually win. And winning is fun. We talked a little bit about stagnant and non-stagnant. So what are your victory conditions? In the last man battle, last man standing, just what it sounds like. You fight until everybody around you is dead. In a last man standing, your life is kind of precious. You don't want to die. But on the other hand, it's SCA. He dies.
Only I need is.
Don't die needlessly. Sometimes it's holding a position. You have a bridge. And this is my favorite story. It comes back to this. So you have a bridge. You're supposed to be holding the center. At which point do you push? This is where, having a time battle, you have to understand, at what time do I commit my troops? Do I commit too early? People get killed, it gives them time to bring reinforcements in. If I commit too late, I can't take the bridge. If they sweep the bridge, and they knock me on my butt, and they don't kill me, and they go to another bridge, guess what? That's my bridge now. Comes back to knowing your victory conditions. And let me tell you, Sir Elizabeth stood on that bridge. Actually, she kneeled on the bridge because she was legged, and they all went around her, and they were very pissed off at the end of the battle. Because it was her bridge. Raising flags. This is one of the victory conditions I hate. They'll have a pole, and they'll stick it between the hay bales, and they'll have some kind of pulley rope system with the one color flag on one side and one color flag on the other. And it doesn't matter if you get to the banner, it matters whether or not you raise the flag. Sometimes they'll have a pole with 2 different colors. You have to get your color up. So when we get all excited, we're pushing, and we take that hay bale and we forget to flip the bale. Okay?
Well, you don't need to flag. That happened. You lost the bridge of Penzance because of it.
Here we go. Sometimes you have to turn over the hay bale. What are the things that we're coming up with?
Flipping a hay bale's kind of weird.
They have the cloth on it. See, it wasn't clear. They'll have a hay bale with 2 different colors of cloth. You know, blue on the top and red on the bottom. You have to flip the bale. And something important to know is that when you get killed, you don't want to kick the bale and knock it over to the wrong color. I mean, these are all silly things that, if you've not seen it before, you have no idea what the victory conditions are. Perhaps one of my favorite types of battle is protect the king. And that is where somebody His Majesty or someone is chosen as the person who has to live, then what do? Do you run out there and fight? Do you stay defensive around this guy? Your tactics depend on what your victory conditions. I am almost done with my lecture. So what kind of battles can you expect to see? Oh, actually, I'm going to leave that up. This says stagnant. For those of you who can't read my handwriting. Non-stagnant and mixed. The most simple and straightforward battle is the open field battle. Stagnant, non-stagnant, mixed. Which is it?
Non-stagnant, or at least it should be.
Okay. What does it end up being? It's mixed. You got a lot of people running around. You got a couple people trying to hold people off. You got a lot of people, where am I going? And you got a lot of people, oh, get out of here. What kind of fighter wins the open field battle?
Most aggressive.
Victory goes to the bold. In the SCA tactics are not real-world military tactics. We are not dying. I am not wasting lives. There is nothing to be gained by being defensive. And I'm hoping some of our generals don't get to see this video because they're going to disagree with me. The whole idea of there is an advantage at some times to be in reserve, so you have a reserve to respond to something.
Often.
The idea of sitting in reserve, to me, is a waste of troops. To me, you win battles by getting more stick on them than they have on you. It's my personal philosophy. I'm sure there are many generals who are going to disagree with that. So in the open field battle, you got a whole bunch of guys over there, and we got a whole bunch of guys over here. What are your goals? What's your goal in the open field battle?
To win.
Kill them all. There we go. How do you get more stick on them than they have on you?
Localized overmatch.
Does everybody know what he means by localized overmatch?
Surrounding them?
Hitting at the correct angles.
So they have a bunch of guys kind of fogged up here, and here's my guys. I don't want to hit them here. I want to hit them here. I want to hit where my guys can have more stick on them than they can have on me. Most importantly, in SCA battle, I want to hit them. I want to be going forward. I want my unit going forward. Donis is going to give a lovely lecture, I'm so sure, on the 5 commands you need to know. You need to know 3. Forward, forward left, and forward right. You got to know which one's which. We actually use plan A and plan B, so I In Stahlgeist we have 3 commands, A, B, or C. There is nothing else, in my opinion. Everything else is what you learn doing very small melee practices at practice. Yeah, 3 or 4 on 3 or 4, 5 on 5, to figure out how you need to hit those people and move them out. What else do we want to say about open fields? Probably one of the most important things in open field is going forward and preferably having more people with you than your opponent has against you. How do you do that? How do you get people to go with you and go forward?
Communicate beforehand. Like, hey, I'm about to join.
And training at home so that everyone knows to work together and stay together with the chosen commander.
Just charge off yelling, they'll follow you.
This man knows me. When I'm going out there and I'm at Penzic, I have no idea where anybody else is. I'm so narrow-minded. I'm going to run down that king over there. And that king, my polearm has his name right here on the face. And I am just yelling, "Mid-room! Mid-room! going forward with having more stick on them than they have on me. Now, if I completely run off, as I have done in the past, and I get lost, I disengage and I start looking for traditionally red tape or red and white tabards or tabards of friends, or sometimes tabards of enemies, because I have no trouble regrouping on the enemy. Now, if I can run from here to hit some household, and you can run from here and we can meet, we're together. And you're gonna meet me because I'm screaming, big room at the top of my lungs. And this poor guy's like, oh, it's Kope. I'm gonna go help her before she dies. So, any questions or comments on tactics for open field battle? We don't tend to do resurrection open field battles because that gets silly, yes. The next favorite battle is, of course, the bridge battle. Stagnant, non-stagnant, or mixed?
Stagnant as they come.
Tends to be as stagnant as they come. So my attempt to make
I'm
bridges.
new and I watched a video and they stood there for a good 15 minutes before something actually happened.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so the first one to cross the bridge dies.
Well, it depends on, again, her different conditions, and what you need to hold and when you need to hold.
What types of bridge battles have you been in?
Res, non-res,
Res, non-res,
time.
time checks. Do you know what I mean by time checks? Everybody understand that? Sometimes your condition is to hold the center of the bridge, and they will do a time check every, 10 minutes maybe?
Yes.
Sometimes it's a random time check.
Every 15 minutes, plus or minus 8.
Yeah, I don't know who picks when it's randomly done.
That was
because-
Peter's random.
The
What they do in
idea
the
is
woods
that-
battle this day.
I'm sorry?
Random time checks is what they do in the woods battle this day.
Yes, they do random time checks, so you have no idea when you should be pushing to take the center of that bridge on a random time check.
But then it basically becomes holding all the time, so it's a tactic all of its own.
Right. So when you're approaching a bridge battle, how you approach it really depends on what your victory conditions are. And you've got to look at your bridges. Here I have 3 bridges that are all the same width. Traditionally, I don't know, 14, 21 feet, whatever you've got room for where you're fighting. When I'm talking, I'm thinking more of larger wars like Lilies or border raids even, or Penzing. If you're in a scenario where one of these bridges is really small. I've been in a Blackstone where they literally, this was 2 shield widths. This bridge was this wide. Now, how many troops do you commit to a 2-foot wide bridge? So you can take this, you've got 2 spearmen and 2 shields, and that's all you need for that particular bridge if they're the right shield and
Just
spear.
one shield.
Wow.
It was a back shield, it was twice as big as him, so.
2 spears and a barn door.
Yeah. Now, I fight in melees mostly with a spear. I am either one of 2 places usually. I'm either right here killing people, or I'm killed or tired, and then I come back here. When I'm back here, I'm watching. What's troop movement like over here? Are they almost ready to knock these guys out? Does this spearman need replaced? People will get out there and start fighting, and they're killing, and then they start to get tired. And then they start to stand on the front line, and their butts are taking up space on my front line. That's when sergeants and captains need to, dude, roll out, roll out. Snag them with the shield or the spear, get them to roll out. People don't want to leave the line if they're not dead. Well, you're taking up room. In a stagnant, limited front battle, there's only so many spears I can get out here. If you're tired, back out. When you back out, I can get my pole arm. when you back out, do so in a way that doesn't screw your people. So I'm up here, I'm spearing, my shots, my targeting's starting to get off because I'm tired. I'm old. I don't go, all right, I'm out, boom, take out all my shieldmen as I room back. No, you make sure your shieldman knows, get me a spear up, get me a spear up, okay, I'm out. And then you get out. Hopefully by that time, somebody's fast enough and I'm loud enough that we can get another spearman in there and take that hole. Now if I'm standing there, and I'm not a really big guy, if I'm just standing there, I am taking up 2 to 4 feet worth of that limited front where nobody on my side is killing those people. Don't stand in the front if you're not killing. Now for shieldmen, it's a different story. Shieldmen on a limited front have a different job. What is your job as a shieldman on a limited front?
Protect the spearmen. Keep them rushing.
You okay getting up? I'm sorry, I'm grabbing you
I'm
because I know
good.
you
I'm
know
good.
what I'm talking about.
I'm good.
All right. So he's protecting me. I'm arrogant. I'm out in front. I'm killing people. I'm getting tired. He's knocking stuff down. You know what he's doing? He's also spotting.
Yep.
Blue guy, belly.
Okay. Yep.
Yep.
Loose. Yep, there you go.
See?
Yep.
He's telling me stuff. He's blocking.
Go a little here.
When I've got him there, I'm not even watching these spears over here because he's got my butt. And when I say, hey, I'm out,
Spear
I'm
up,
out,
spear
what
up,
do
spear
I do? What does he do? Here's what he doesn't do. Okay, I'm out. He doesn't block me. And again, this is what I don't do. Which brings us to, I'm going to skip through battle scenarios.
Am I done?
No, I'm going to use your body some more.
Nope.
All right. Because you know, oh, I am.
Sorry.
All right. Boom, I'm dead. What do I do?
Fall down.
What you don't do is dead. Same thing.
Or walking across the front of your spear line.
All right.
Yeah.
So yeah, here he's got my spear. He's spearing. Oh, dead. Really?
Happens all the time.
How do you die? There's another issue you have. Sometimes I need you the heck out of there. This comes back to victory conditions. All right, here we are, right? You die right here. You're dead. I need to take that center. Is your body impeding me?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Heck yeah. I have to say heck, my mom might see this. All right, heck yeah. Get your body out of there as discreetly as possible. Go low and get out as soon as you can. All right. Benzig 23. We are right here. Conrad Maylander dies right at my feet. I'm not making this up. Conrad Maylander dies right in front of me.
Oh, God.
Our queen, Kenna, is right behind us. At which point I said, we are this close to the cannon. I can feel the cannon. I am so dehydrated, I'm ready to cry. And I say, stay here! Because he's going to get out of my way. No! Your body is my shield. So yeah, did we take that bridge? I can't even remember what they came up with on that.
We didn't lose the battle, Kim.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
And that was my bridge.
At this last
And that was
meeting,
Pensick 25.
Oh, you're right.
we
See, this
had,
happens when you get old.
we had a couple of our guys at different points, but our Optio Vici died right as the cannon was firing, right as people were trying to get past him to an objective, and so he got right in their face, died, and trips the first two guys coming at him.
You tried to step over this guy in armor with bad knees like half of us have? That is not an easy thing to do.
Well, if he dies defensively like he should,
Yep.
you've got a ramp.
Which brings us to another point. We don't hurt our friends, but if you die defensively, if he is, I don't know if your camera can see, if he's got his shield completely covering him
Yep.
at 175 pounds, I'm gonna step on him. And in armor, yeah, I'm 175 pounds, that's heavy armor. But I'm gonna step on him if I have to, because we're here, and you're here, and I need to get to there. So make sure that your shield's there and your basket hilt's under it. If you don't know how to die defensively, ask the people to teach you. Don't hesitate because you've got all these dead bodies here. That makes my head explode, and then I start yelling even more. Woods battles. Thank you, Ashley. What do we need to know about woods battles?
Tree makes a good shield.
Don't schedule them, you won't have to worry about it.
Woods battles are probably the litmus test of the SCA. You love them or you hate them. There's no, whatever, yeah.
I never have more fun.
The first thing that I know about a woods battle from a command standpoint is your numbers are down.
Your numbers are down and you can never rely on
Yeah.
unit integrity.
No.
There's no unit integrity, because you got the people who get killed, and they get tired, and they,
Eat popsicles.
the queen brings out freeze pops in the middle of the battle, and Kope's head explodes, and I have to go down before Her Majesty on my knees and beg her to put the freeze pops away, because
Silly cannon.
I can't get people out in the field. And then, and that's what it is. And with the woods battle, you die, you get your drink, and you hump your butt back up there. I am so guilty in woods battles of being less aggressive than I should be, because I don't want to die and walk down that blooming field hill. And how is the hill uphill both sides? But it doesn't matter. So, woods battles have a lot of problems, allergies. I once had a king, I'm sorry,
Poison ivy.
poison
Terrain.
ivy, the terrain is horrible. Like I said, I once had a king try to marshal his troops and give them an enthusiastic St. Crispin's Day speech while he stood on some kind of beehive-y thing.
Oh,
And he got stung numerous times, it was sad. So,
One
Romac
year
deserved it.
it was so wet because it had been raining so terribly prior, they decided that the ground was dry enough, but it was still extremely humid, and all the padding in my helmet swelled up. And so I could so I tried wearing it for a while, and then I just got this terrible headache, I had to stop. It's just so humid,
It's much
everything.
worse than the old was about pretty much everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no cover, it's too open.
This is a wood battle. Am I missing something? Is it not in the woods?
It is in the woods.
Okay.
But the old woods had a couple of spruce lines running through it. The new woods is all hardwood, widely spaced hardwood.
And
Poison
poison ivy covered.
you're walking through the woods and you're not thinking about it, and the spruce thing comes off of your pole arm and whacks the guy right
What does he care? He's wearing a helmet.
Sorry, well, yeah, but those pine
Some of the
needles.
worst-
I'm sorry, I'm a fencer. I don't care.
Some of the worst injuries at Pennsic has been from those spruces and getting needles in eyes and stuff.
Yep.
So, what do you think is important about the woods battle? What do you do? How do you win the woods battle?
I ran-
Hold more flags than the other guy for an hour and a half.
Keep up morale.
I ran hundreds of scenarios and never figured out how to win.
It's, like I said, it's my least favorite battle to train, it's my least favorite battle to fight. Generally, in the woods battle, somewhere, it depends at least, you've got all this woods, this is terrain, because it's like uphill both ways. And somewhere in here are hidden some flags. And you have to find them, and you have to fight for them. And having fought at 20+ Pennsics, I think I've seen a banner twice. I'm not sure they actually exist.
Well, I mean, if you're fighting in the woods, you wouldn't really want that big of a patrol going out.
And that's one of the things. Do you put a lot of people around that banner and make it a bullseye so that the east knows where to come and hit?
Because, I mean, when you're fighting in the woods, that's more, if you can get a clear shot with an archer, you have a couple of guys around the flags and have a couple of archers behind the tree, you're good to go.
Well, we generally.
We have, I was gonna say,
I've never been in a woods battle with archers. Archers is something that's not in my notes that we can talk
Because, I
about.
mean, well, I mean,
Changes the scenario.
from doing paintball and airsoft, I'm from the country in the woods all the time. Generally, you got two guys standing at the flag, just pretty much as decoys. You're gonna, all right, we only got two guys standing there. They're gonna come in, you know, balls blazing, ready to kill them. You just got a couple of archers posted out somewhere and take out most of the guys.
And then
Airsoft's a little
We
different from
have,
that
we
archery.
have one, in 20-something years that I've been going, one woods battle that I know of that they actually had archery.
they did, I don't remember any.
And that was Savard's year.
Okay.
There are concerns about arrows going wild, getting knocked off of things, catching a knock in the neck, which can happen.
Did it make a difference?
But I mean, what would
Not
it make a
usually.
difference in a field battle, getting knocked in the neck with an arrow?
Well, but that's why you're not supposed to like try to hit an arrow out of the air and
Yeah.
stuff like that, so they're always going the right direction, because they're weighted in the front one.
If you wanna talk about the safety and non-safety of arrows, that's a whole different conversation.
yeah.
And I'll talk to you for a billion years about the fact that it's the only weapon we own that we don't have control of after we throw the shot. But
And archery does change,
victory.
may change the way you approach your tactics in a battle. Oh, anything else about woods? Stay hydrated, you die, get back up there.
Learn to be sneaky.
Try
It
to
worked
get
well.
Up out of res, try to get them back up on the banner, try to get them up there on the front, watch where you go. You're used to running backwards and you hit yourself. When your power throwing yourself into a tree hurts a lot. I've never been hit as hard by him as I have by the tree behind me. And then, yeah, and then you're standing in front of the tree and somebody hits you and you take that spear thrust that's a little hard because they're excited, it's not meant to be nasty, and that spear thrust throws your head into the tree. So I have a rule that I use trees as my friend, but the tree is in front of me and I'm beside it and I know where it is and I'm always paying attention to what's exactly behind me and how much room I have.
Tree.
And who's
That's about all I have.
One of our guys actually killed a tree. He shield charged it.
It tripped.
And tripped, but took out the tree.
It was a dying tree and the whole tree just came down.
Archer trains running into trees for shield wall.
Yes. Yes.
Been there, done that.
I'm not even gonna comment, I'm gonna move on to other battle type scenarios. Broken field, mountain pass battles. Here's my hay bales, here's some hay bales, here's some hay bales, here's some hay bales. You can have various conditions, just like with the bridge battle. You can have last man, they can be resurrection, you can be going for a bale or a flag or a post or whatever. Know your victory conditions. Stagnant, not stagnant, mixed.
Next.
Very mixed. When you go out and you see one of these battles, make sure you know, are you allowed to shoot over the hay bales? Are the hay bales considered walls to the ceiling? To the sky? Sometimes they'll have two levels of hay bales. So this stack, this is me attempting to draw, so you can't shoot over hay bales that are 2 stacks high, but you can shoot over hay bales that are 1 stack high. Make sure that you know when you go out which one you're allowed to do.
Just for terminology, when you say shoot, you're shooting spears.
I'm shooting spears,
Yeah.
but archery as well.
Archery.
If you have archery, are they allowed to shoot over the walls? Am I arrow proof behind this wall? That's a very important question to ask. So when I come to victory conditions, I know I keep harping on it, but know what the rules are for that scenario. Otherwise, you don't always know how to approach it. Can you hide behind that, or do you have to go get Guido and hide behind him? You know, whichever works for you. What are some important things? They will often have, you're not allowed to shoot, throw a thrust or a shot over the corners. This can sometimes get a little fussy. Where is that corner? Especially because I'm a corner person. I don't like to be in the middle of all the folks. I want a little bit of wiggle room. I got some hips. I need room to throw my shots. If you throw your shot, if I'm here, and if I'm here, and I'm spearing this guy, Because I'm trying to take out the guys on the edge who aren't paying attention to me. I'm projecting my chi at this dude. I'm watching. He's afraid, and then boom, I'm killing this dude. Because that's the guy who's not paying attention. Oh, if he whines, I should use the term whine. If he makes me aware that I have shot over the bail in his opinion, then you just try to adjust. Don't get upset. You're gonna hit him again because he ain't paying attention. What else is important about limited?
Unless you wanna get into actual tactics, nothing.
Tactics are good.
Well, tactics are good. I think we're doing okay on time because I don't have a whole lot more on this. The other,
You wanted to do a, field pocket. That's
Yeah.
a good place to do it.
one more battle scenario, town battles.
Yes.
So you've got your hay bales. These are hay bales. Sometimes there's even a hay bale here. So you've got a limited, stagnant front. You have not just one, but picture 4 or 5 of these buildings. And the goal is usually to hold so many of the buildings at some certain time when the cannon goes off. Stagnant or non-stagnant?
It'd be very much stagnant.
This is very stagnant, but I've got this one over here, pretend like it's got walls on it. And then I've got this guy over here. Oh, Escher, I hate you.
Can we
Okay.
send you back to drafting 101, young lady?
I'm an epidemiologist, it's all proximate. There could be a lot of mixed out here. What's most important in this battle?
Holding the building itself.
If that's your objective, yes.
Your objective is to hold the buildings, you've got to figure out, again, how to get more stick on them than they get on you.
There are usually windows in that scenario.
There can be.
Not often, it's usually just walls.
And doors.
And there's often 2 doors, just to mess with you. So you can't focus everybody here, because somebody's gonna come in here.
The real question you have there is, do you defend it from inside or outside? Yeah. You've got to have one person inside to hold the building, but you defend it from the inside and the outside.
So I've got my one guy here holding the building, but as Sir Randolph said, do I put my spears here? Well, if all I have is 2 spears left, heck yeah, my spears are gonna be inside. But what if I've got 3 good shieldmen? Do I come out here? You're thinking about it.
It depends.
It would, I feel like it would depend on the layout of the city itself.
It very much depends.
And also the layout of where is the door? Is the door on the corner, or is it in the middle of a wall somewhere where you can put a pocket on the inside of it?
For how many enemies are near?
What's the threat? Exactly.
Or can you block 2 hut entrances by putting up a wall in front, on the outside?
So if I've got my guys out here, what can they do?
Anything.
They can respond to a need from here or here. If I've got one guy here and bad dudes are coming in, these guys, if this isn't under a threat, these guys can respond if they're outside. If they're inside, you're taking away their ability to respond because you can't get all 3 of them through there at once. On the other hand, it's easier to defend if they're on the inside. So you've got to have somebody paying attention to what's going on around you, which this is as good of a time as any to talk about what do you do during a hold?
Nothing.
No,
That's incorrect.
sorry. They call hold. First thing I do, where are my guys? What colors around me? Knowing my victory conditions, what is the next thing that needs to be done? All right. It's very useful to learn the heraldry of both your kingdom, households, barons, and your foreign households, barons, etc., baronies, to know where you need to send people and at what calibration you need to send people.
You're not allowed to express what you're learning to anyone.
You are not allowed to talk
Yeah.
during the hold.
Yeah.
You can express anything you want to.
Okay, all right.
You know, if I'm standing there and I know that I'm here and I can see the Great Northern Armies coming around here
Yeah.
and this is not under a threat, I can let my guy know I'm going right there. I don't say a word. I'm projecting my energy over here. That's where I'm going.
All right.
And my guys know that. And they know as soon as Leon is called, because I'm action ready, as soon as Leon is called, I am yelling, forward, forward, forward! I didn't yell, don't hurt y'all. So that's reading the people around you. Now, if I'm in the middle here and we need to be hanging out, they call Leon, I'm like this. All right, because we're not going anywhere. We're holding this little building. It's the same thing in an open field. They call hold, I'm looking around. I'm going that way. I don't have to tell anybody. I don't have to talk. I don't have to be unchivalrous and break any rules. All I'm doing is indicating the direction I'm going to go. In the battle, after the hold, you should expect to move unless you're holding. Let me repeat that. Unless you're holding something, you should expect to attack. SCA fighting is not like you're dying in the real world. In the SCA, it has been my 20-something years experience that if you are going forward with aggression, you convince your opponent to die. If you're going backwards, you convince your partners to die. You're always better to go forward with power and aggression than to try to huddle up. It's very much a mind game with what we do because we accept defeat. We accept that blow. I want you to accept that blow. You're not going to do it if it's a, I mean, there's good blows, there's crap. There's this line though. And these people are going to judge these middle, depending on where their brain is. And if they're thinking, I'm going to die, oh, that's good. See? But if they're thinking, I'm going to kill you, well, they're not going to take that tappy little, BS shot. All right, let's get Escher out of there. So we're covered dying. Resurrect. Okay, we're not out of time. Resurrection.
Lords and ladies, your majesties, guests, friends, it is now time for your 2 o'clock class.
No, it's not.
Quarter till.
Anybody got a phone?
I guarantee that clock's right.
Held at 2 o'clock.
He just said it was a quarter till.
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
We have the 5 ways of attack going to be held on fighter field number 3. Pole on 101 in the gym on list 2. Advanced landing in the gym on list 3. From 2 to 3:30,
discussing
how to
how-
fight like a German, and 11 easy to learn moves
Once you
in
go
the
to the
gym
kill
on
box.
list 1.
Okay. So Randolph suggested the kill box.
206.
And actually
Strength
running one
and
correctly.
explosiveness, room
And actually showing what a kill pocket is and not a line across the plate.
Room
Yes.
Patches. We don't need no thinking patches will now be held at 2:30, not 2 o'clock at 2:30. Recruiting and keeping in a college town in room 205, and basic dishing and riveting on the stage behind the gym, and a fistful of katana outside fighter field 2. Again, the time is quarter till 2 o'clock, and it's almost time for your 2 o'clock classes to begin.
My goal is to take the center of this bridge. I have a big old bunch of shieldmen. Love my hole. They run up, they beat everybody up. Now we're right here, all right? It's become a stagnant battle. I want to get more stick on my opponent than they have on me. So I am going to try to make a kill pocket. A kill pocket is, this is exaggerated, but it's the idea that my guys can shoot and get more stick on them than they can get on us. So this guy here is gonna get hit by 2 or 3 guys at once. Does that make sense?
It's more pronounced if you use the end of the bridge as an example.
Yeah.
Swept the bridge.
Well, there's a good
Somebody
thing.
comes across and sees it.
We've swept the bridge, all right? We're holding the other 2 bridges. Somebody over here is paying attention. All right, we've got the bridges. We need to hold the bridges, keep the bridges. We need to not die. We line up in an arc. That way, as they come in, we have more stick on them than they have on us.
And they can't hit all of you from those corner shots.
This guy's hard to hit from here. All right, now what you're gonna get is you're gonna get some wacky little spear woman who's just all excited and she runs out here. What do?
Let her.
You let her go.
Yeah, just saying.
She's a crazy glory hound that wants to get shot. You let her go out there, you let her get hit.
We call that holding nausea.
I feel like border raids last year was a fantastic example of the kill pocket and then spear gods going outside the line. I don't know if you was there.
A lot of it wasn't as pronounced as it should have been for the pocket. It did not alleviate, luckily the Meridians are very cooperative and back their shields off. Send their spear gods out too. But if you notice how she's got that, the idea of that is when you're in that solid line across the front, that you can't reach the guy all the way in the back. And you're susceptible to a lot more firepower coming from your sides. It'll allow you to put twice as many sticks on their sticks.
This is the limit of their
As opposed to-
spears. All right, but we can get to these guys.
It's even more pronounced if you go to the other end of the bridge and build your kill pocket. What it allows you to do is work your corners and they have to come into your range. Okay? You would be,
Here's me, behind that guy.
this gives Kope an angle pretty much 3/4 way across the bridge. And the person over here the same way. So anything they bring into this pocket just gets munched and dies. And if you don't have people that do the Kope and go out front, and you're playing a time thing, or even a last man thing, it allows you to get more stick on them than they can possibly ever get on you.
Which kind of brings me to one other thing. Shields and spears versus shields and spears. And I haven't rehearsed this, so I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to explain it. But if you've got, border raids is a beautiful example. We have some spear people who like to get up in front of the pocket and spear. The Meridians love to send their spear gods out, and they've got 5 or 10 folks who are just phenomenal with spear. They're hard to kill. If you've got their 10 and our 10,
They're gonna win
you're
usually.
gonna win. So if I'm up here spearing and I'm starting to count, and I've got Alanon, and I've got, so I'm looking and I'm like, all right, I've got 6 Meridian spear gods out in front. I got Kope, I'm okay. I'm no Alanon. I got 3 other unbelts. I'm not gonna stand here and spear duel those guys. I'm gonna immediately yell for shields up. And I'm gonna yell forward. And with my little spear, I'm forward. Because I want my shields to go out and munch them.
Now, you guys know what a pulse charge is, right? This is where the pulse charge comes in. It actually comes in, hits a spear. That is your objective. Hit the spear and push it back. Kill as many as you can. Stop when you get to their line. Don't try to penetrate their line, and then reset yourselves.
And then I come up and I start, well, these guys are all trying to get their stuff together. Then or he's got his pole arm. Who knows what he's doing with his pole arm killing people. You know, because they're all trying to figure out who's dead and how to step and everything else. And that's when we come in, your great weapons, and take them all down.
Just remember with the pulse charge, it is not a penetration. It's a hit, come back. Or force them back, preferably, and that's how you take the grip.
I did have a question about one of the tactics that we're using, go to ground. Isn't that it? Where
Ground
you,
your shields?
yeah, you take me as a shield guy.
I don't necessarily agree with that tactic.
Well, I was gonna say, we didn't do it, I think maybe at all, at Pennsic, and I was curious as to why, because it seems like a good idea, but,
It's actually not anything where you're trying to move forward at all.
okay.
Depends, how good are your shieldman's knees?
Very stagnant.
If you're fighting a stagnant battle, maybe to the last man, it has its merits. It's no better than standing with your shield if you're fighting with warlords.
Okay.
Darkman used to do it, and they did it really, really well. They did it better than about anybody around, and you still have time it takes to stand up and move when you need to move.
And let's be blunt, how many of us here are over 30? How fast am I jumping up off of my knees, really? No disrespect intended, it's limited. Palantir used to be known for
Yes,
being.
That's the shield wall.
But they haven't been around for a
Nope, they
long, long
haven't.
time.
So, thank you, I gotta go get our one.
Yeah, we are out of here.
See, my thing was, grounding your shield used to be a good way to get your shield and rope